All right, ready for the last video for today? Let's see. All right, how many tracks could my Honda Civic be in Mario Kart DS? Oh my, let's find out, okay? All right. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Over the last year, I've done my best to test the limitations of my body against the brutal challenges and environments of different Nintendo games. What I haven't done yet, though, is test something even more important. How many tracks could my 2018 Honda Civic complete in Mario Kart DS?
Let's find
Before
out.
starting things out, though, we need to establish some rules and concepts. First off, we'll be driving at 150cc,
All
which
right,
roughly translates to a maximum speed of 60 miles per hour.
not
Second,
bad.
we'll be imposing the size of the Civic over the Kart by using Mario's size as a reference. Since Mario is 5'1", his head is roughly 22 inches or a foot and 10 inches across. Given that the Civic is 6 feet wide, we'll be fitting a bit larger than normal, looking like this. This ends up working pretty well, all things
All right.
considered, since the Civic
Mario's only 5'1", huh? Oh, I'm a little bit taller than Mario. How about that? Question is, am I taller than Luigi? Goodness gravy.
is roughly the same size as the other regular cars on Shroom Ridge. Third, we'll be
Alright.
resetting any damage to the car between each level, that way our later results aren't impacted by prior failures. Otherwise, that would be a pretty lame video. Finally, this isn't a sponsored video, I just like my car, and I thought this was really funny.
That's fun.
With that boring
That's very
stuff out
fun.
of the way, let's go! For our
Let's
first course of the
go!
Mushroom Cup, we have the wonderful, the classic, the beloved Figure 8 Circuit.
Yes.
Okay, in all seriousness, this is probably one of the
Did y'all ever play Mario Kart DS back in the day? It was so fun. I absolutely love Mario Kart. I've played every single Mario Kart game, except for the one on the Switch 2, because I don't have a Switch 2 yet. Sad. But hopefully I'll be getting a Switch 2 soon. But for now, yeah, I've played every single Mario Kart game back in the day. And every Mario Kart has a Rainbow Road. It's like the final boss track of the game, along with like Bowser's Castle and stuff. It's not my fault you didn't learn how to snake Pikachu. It's not my fault. Clearly, you suffer from a case of get good.
most boring courses of all time, but in terms of this challenge, it's the best track we could ask for. Literally no obstacles, just straight lines and 2 turns. Assuming that I'm not a toddler, we're putting this in an easy completion.
Easy.
Up next is Yoshi Falls, probably one of the most nostalgic courses for me.
Oh, Yoshi Falls.
This one does have a point of minor interest, being the waterfalls that we can drive through. Looking at them up close, they honestly seem relatively shallow, so I don't think there'd be huge risk of flooding my engine. However, there's no reason to even bother attempting it, since the course thankfully lets us drive in a safe lap all the way around.
If you can't
That's
avoid
another
driving
one
through water.
fully possible. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we've got Cheap Cheap Beach. For as fun as this course is, the road being 90% sand doesn't bode well for a car with only front-wheel
no.
drive. While we can't be completely confident on how compact the sand is here, I'd have to imagine it's relatively soft due to the fact that it's literally right next to the ocean.
Oh yeah,
Tracks
that's
with
rough.
compacted dirt and sand tend to have a more unique design for the road, designating the difference. And also, this guy is a bit of an issue.
That's
I promise
dangerous.
we'll be talking more about ramps soon, but given that we don't even get to this one, we're gonna go ahead and put Cheap Cheap Beach in Impossible. And ending out the Mushroom Cup, we have Luigi's Mansion. Starting out on a lush green lawn,
Yeah,
the road
Luigi's
would be a bit
Mansion.
soft but definitely still drivable. Approaching the
Oof.
mansion, we'll slow down a bit to ensure that we don't catch any airtime on the way in, and we'll safely make our way through the halls to avoid any minor wrecks. Exiting out the back,
Yeah,
it's
there
a
you
nice
go.
drive through the yard until reaching the mud pits. Bro does
Oh.
not take care of his backyard. Although we lost
Luigi,
quite a bit of
get on
traction
top of
here,
it.
as long as we enter the mud with a decent amount of speed and aimed where we need to go, we should
Yeah.
hopefully be all good.
Yeah, driving through the mud can be rough. Oh my gosh. But yeah, if his car can go fast enough, the 150cc limit, yeah, he'd be okay driving through mud. It'd be really unpleasant to clean after, though, wouldn't it?
Again, the mud doesn't seem too deep here, so I don't foresee us getting permanently stuck in any way. With that taken care of, we're all good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in Probably Possible though, on the off chance that the mud is deeper than expected and we end up getting stuck.
And also driving up those stairs in the first place, too. You wouldn't take care of the backyard either if there were ghosts there. Well, if ghosts like a mess, that's fine, right? But still, Luigi still needs to step up a bit.
Starting out the Shell Cup, we have our first retro course, Mario Circuit 1.
Oh, my
As you can
favorite.
probably imagine from the retro courses, they don't pose much of a threat. Literally the only obstacle in this entire course are just these few pipes on the first turn. That's literally it.
Mario Circuit 1 is one of my favorites. I love it. And of course
Next,
it's
we've got
possible.
Moo Moo Farm. And this time, we have basically the exact same
Moo Moo
situation,
Farm.
except we have to look out for moles. Ah! Yeah, that's it. This one actually does have winding hills and a few bumps that we'd at least need to be more careful navigating, but as a whole,
watch out
it's
for those moles.
absolutely still fully doable. Now we're on to Peach Circuit, which is somehow even easier than the last two. Mario Circuit 1 had a
nice
stationary
paved road,
obstacle,
easy to go.
Moo Moo Farm had moving obstacles, and Peach Circuit has nothing. It's a completely flat track that has some slow turns, giving us literally no trouble.
Easy peasy.
Based on the track record of the Shell Cup, I'm sure that we'll be ending off just as easily here in Luigi Circuit. Now, in the game, these drops really don't seem like a big deal, but let me tell you, they are. Given that Mario's head is roughly 2 feet tall, which is horrifying by the way, these ledges are roughly 8 feet tall. Assuming we drive off the ledge at 60 miles per hour to have the wheels touch down around the same time, we'd be hitting the ground with a vertical speed of 15.4 miles per hour. Given that the car weighs 1,800 pounds, we'd have around 30,000 joules of kinetic energy built up before the impact. Assuming that the car would compress about 1.5 feet on impact, the Civic would absorb around 60,000 newtons, or 13,500 pounds of force. That is a lot. And also, that's my fun reminder that despite the fact that I make these silly videos, I am still a math teacher. Ultimately, that would most likely break the suspension system, and it could cause other issues as well, such as fluid leaks. Well,
oh yeah, his car would be totally busted. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh. Like don't risk it. Don't risk it. An 8-foot drop? Oh no, buddy. Oh no, it's over. A bad day will be putting it lightly.
Say that we could potentially continue on for a minute or so before the car completely broke down, we were met with another drop of the same height.
Oh yeah, they have two
With the
drops.
damage already sustained and the suspension gone, this impact would be absorbed even worse, and we'd be completely done.
What were you
tried seeing
thinking
if we
driving
could
like
land
that
on the grass
anyway?
to reduce impact,
Are you a
but
big
it was
dummy
too
or
far out,
something? Why
and I
didn't you
tried
think
seeing
about
if we
that
could circumvent the
beforehand?
standard path,
For
but
goodness
Lakitu caught on
sake.
pretty fast.
Making me upset
There's
here.
no way around it. Luigi Circuit is our number one op. Starting out the Flower Cup is Desert Hills, which I briefly identified earlier in Cheep Cheep Beach as having drivable roads.
Yeah,
Given the
it's not
difference
bad.
between
Dirt
the
road there.
compacted track versus the sides, I'm confident in saying we could go through this no problem. Sure, we'd need to avoid some pokies and crest some hills slowly, but that's really it. The whiplash of this video is going to feel insane. For Delfino Square. Guys, this is a Mario Sunshine reference. I love Mario Sunshine. Okay, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. Super Mario Sunshine is like like the second best 3D Mario game that ever came out. Okay? And it's better than the Super Mario 64. That's right. That's right. Super Mario Sunshine was a really great game. Oh no, Sunshine, no. No, Pikachu's, you're wrong. No. Mario 64 is only third best. Mario Galaxy 2 is the best 3D Mario game. That's right. And you can't fight me on this because I'm wrong, because I'm right and you're wrong. Of course you're not listening, little brat.
For Delfino Square, we've got a pretty straightforward path since this is literally just a city. The only issues we really have are the differing pathways, which ultimately both lead to staircases we need to drive down.
Oof.
I'd probably opt for the route straightforward though, since one long staircase seems better than multiple at least. Toward the end we have a raised bridge, but through the power of patience,
it'll lower.
we can just give it a few seconds and the bridge lowers
Yeah,
nicely
there you go.
down
Safer
for us.
that way. Not bad.
And now it's time for the absolute GOAT of all Mario Kart DS courses, Waluigi Pinball.
Waluigi Pinball.
Yeah, if it wasn't evident, there's no way we're surviving that.
Oh
and
no,
even without the unfortunate start, we'd still have a rough time with multiple other portions of the map.
Oh, what a shame.
While it's unfortunate for the challenge, this is also probably why Waluigi Pinball was such a standout in our childhoods, After so many flat courses back to back, the complexity of the movement felt really refreshing here. And
Yeah, that's
speaking of
too bad though.
refreshing, I feel right at home here in Shroom Ridge. While maps like Delfino Square are reminiscent of a city, this is just straight up a roadway with actual cars like me. I took my
Yeah.
time, making sure I stayed in my lane as best as possible
Pass that
to
guy,
ensure
pass
that I
him.
was following
Yeah.
proper traffic laws. The only challenge I ran into here, if you could call it a challenge, was the insanely slow drivers. So, aside from the road rage we faced,
Being stuck behind a slow driver is the worst. Oh my god. Like, get out of the way, the light's green, what are you doing? We've all been behind a driver like that, right? Just taking their time. No, 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 no. Like, I'm sorry, the world doesn't revolve around you. Pick it up, pick it up. Look, I'm getting sick of your road rage here. Oh my goodness. Oh
there really
my.
wasn't anything too bad here. And back into the retro courses again, we start out the Banana Cup with Donut Plains 1. Yet
Donut
another
planes.
fascinatingly boring track. I don't know, man. What do you want me to say? We drive around on a road. I guess I should note that I could most likely do the grass skips here without a mushroom, since I doubt my car would be affected much by the grass. But that's it.
Not bad. Not
Let's keep
bad.
moving.
Easy does it.
Entering into Frappe Snowland, I was expecting to have to deal with snow-covered slippery roads, but honestly, these seem pretty well paved. Aside from dodging a couple snowmen, it looked like an easy drive until I realized we
Oh.
had another drop. I'd
Oh.
completely forgotten that this was even here, and going back to look at it, the height is pretty similar to the one in Luigi's Circuit.
Oof.
However, I'm quite a bit more optimistic about this drop. First
Are you?
off, we only need to survive one drop here, not two like Luigi's Circuit, and even if the suspension breaks and we started leaking fluids, I could hopefully make it one more minute on the simple pathways.
Well, I hope so,
Second
right?
though, we can actually utilize the off-road here to our advantage.
Oh.
Managing to land in the snow would massively reduce the force being absorbed by the car, which to me solidifies my confidence in at least calling this iffy. There's just enough
Oh.
going for it that I feel like with
Right. We only need to survive one drop. No big deal, right? And yeah, hopefully he started his car and kept it warm. A cold car is pretty rough.
some luck, we could justify accomplishing it. Hey guys, Editor Me. I don't know how I forgot to mention this in this video, but we are going off the basis of completing one lap, not all three.
Oh.
Otherwise, that ranking and a few of the others wouldn't make any sense. Anyways, if you're enjoying the video, subscribe. Going into Bowser's Castle 2. Oh boy, our AC is going to be on full blast. Getting things going, our pathway is again pretty
Okay.
straightforward. The graded segments without walls would be horrifying above lava, but as long as we're careful and keep our cool, we'll be fine.
Okay,
I
yeah.
opted to avoid all the ramps for hopefully
Okay, so looking at this from a context of just one lap instead of all three, that makes a lot more sense that way. Okay, I see. Okay, it's a lot better. Okay, so that's why you only need to survive the drop just once. Yeah. If you play Mario Kart on this NES, that's why this track was familiar. I think it's one of the retro tracks.
obvious
Pretty good.
reasons, until eventually coming across three that were
Oh.
absolutely unskippable. Given that they only launch us up a few feet, yeah, it would be rough on the car,
Oof.
but I think that we could manage to push through long enough to finish the track. I debated on this for quite a while, but given that we have to go over three in relatively quick succession, I'm just gonna put it in iffy.
Iffy, yeah.
And finally, we're at the most difficult track of
Oh.
the video, Baby Park. Let's just take this first turn gently, and okay, we'll keep going safely, and after 7 more
He made
horrifying turns,
it!
we rounded the last one before crossing the finish line. We're gonna go ahead and put this one in We Died, since the fear would most likely give me a heart attack. Starting out the Star Cup, we have DK Pass, and right away, we have some pretty horrifying
my
driving up
gosh.
these roads.
Oof.
I already get super anxious driving up mountains, even when there are guardrails, so I
Oh,
can't imagine
no.
how horrified I'd be here.
Oh my gosh, we have roads like that in rural Alaska, like these really scary, really windy roads. I remember one time that I was visiting a friend in Anchor Point, and they had the scariest roads there. Oh my gosh, ugh, like like the kind that make you just grip the steering wheel, like pray to God you don't slip off, right? Oh, scary. But you only have to do that once in the race, but in real life, oh God, I try to avoid it if I can.
Either way, there's not really any major obstacles, until getting to the top at least. We go from paved roadway to snow. Now, there's
Oh.
no indication of how deep the snow is, and it doesn't seem to have any sort of texture to indicate it's more packed than the surrounding areas, but giving the benefit of the doubt that it is packed in, that's
Uh-huh.
only the start of our trouble. A little further up, we've got a pretty tall drop off,
Oof.
with an extremely steep slope going down.
Oh, not
Now,
good,
that's
not good.
objectively better than a full-on ledge, but it's still not ideal by any means. If we could
Oh.
approach it from a side angle and slide our way down, maybe we could do it? But even then, we have another slope not too much farther
Oh.
ahead,
Oh.
followed by an even worse one right
That's a
at the
steeper
end.
drop right there.
Look, I'm really teetering on giving this impossible, but assuming we can drive on the snow and somehow manage to cautiously slide down the edges, I'll put it in iffy.
Yeah.
Beginning TikTok clock, we've got a nice drive up this ramp, eventually spitting us out onto a giant clock head. It's easy enough to avoid the hands, and after another turn we can just patiently wait to get past the swinging pendulum.
Yeah.
Unfortunately though, that's when we run into the toughest challenge of the course. These drops seem to be about 3 to 4 feet each, and we
Oh.
have 5 in quick succession.
Oh.
Not ideal. Now, if we were to maintain our speed, I do think it's possible we can make it through the gauntlet, but the spinning gears would make it hard to maintain control, and the odds of us permanently breaking something go up with every single drop.
Oh, yes.
Given that the rest of the course is just a short drive to the end though, I'm again willing to put this one in iffy. Going
Okay,
into
well, it's not
Mario
too
Circuit,
bad.
we randomly have an insanely easy course. DK Pass, TikTok Clock, and even Airship Fortress after this are pretty obviously big challenges. So having to literally only avoid 3 Goombas and a couple fireballs is actually crazy. The entire track is pretty flat with a few gradual slips, but aside from taking the turns
Okay,
slowly,
that's good
there's
there.
no issue
That's
in
good.
finishing this one.
Easy
Going
peasy.
into Airship Fortress,
Oof.
another absolute banger, we start off with some immediate disqualifications.
Oh.
This drop is so many
Oh,
Mario heads high that
no.
I can't even see the top of it. For all of you thinking the bullet bills would be our undoing, it's just boring physics again. Also just for the
Physics.
funsies, after this we have another drop, then another drop,
Ooh.
then another drop, and then blasted out of a literal cannon. So nothing about this entire level is Civic friendly.
Oh, not at all. No. Oh dear. Yeah, it's like you do it's like how many Pokeballs do you want in your body? Yes. Oh, you gotta take off a Leiko? Alright, no worries. I'm so glad having you here. Alright, take care, Leiko, alright? Sleep well, eat well, take care of yourself. Alright, have a good one now. And thank you so much as always for being here. Alright. Oh my goodness, so that's a lot of drops in there, isn't it?
Absolutely a no-go. Starting out the Leaf Cup is Koopa Beach 2, which you'd think would be easy, yet it has the same issue as Cheap Cheap Beach. Sand. And again, sand right next to the ocean, which would mean it's super soft and likely undrivable.
Oh yeah,
Just like Cheap
that's
Cheap
rough.
Beach had the ramp as a disqualifier though, this one has something similar seen in the completely water-covered segments. Like, yeah,
Oh.
we don't know exactly how deep it is here, but there's no way we're justifying driving through wet sand regardless. That is a huge nope from me.
Big no, big no.
Going
indeed.
into Choco Mountain, I expected this one to be a bit harder since it's pretty hilly, but really that wasn't an issue. There aren't any drops or jumps or anything like that.
Oh,
The
yeah,
only
Choco
true
Mountain.
obstacle is avoiding the falling chocolate rocks, which you can see well from this camera view, but in the car it's likely a different story. I'd imagine we'd be fine, but I'm still putting it in probably possible, assuming an unlucky boulder could just straight up crush us.
Oh, that'd be unlucky, wouldn't it? My goodness. Yeah, it's like, sure I could drive it, but is it worth the risk? It's like big giant chocolate boulders. No, I'm fine. Let's just skip it.
And then we've got Luigi Circuit. Again? Wait, I could have sworn. Huh. Okay, anyways, this one
Two
is
Luigi
thankfully
circuits.
infinitely easier than its counterpart.
It is Luigi,
It's literally
number
just a
one.
curvy loop in the rain. That's it. We're able to immediately put this one in all good,
Easy
and we can at
peasy.
least see a blimp, so that's kinda cool. And finally, we end things off with the Mushroom Bridge. I don't know why, but there's something just so charming to me about these old courses with actual cars. They just bring me joy. Maybe because I feel like I'm actually among my own. But anyways, this is also insanely easy. Again, our only challenge is remembering to use our turn signals while violently cutting off our fellow drivers, so that's an easy win.
Yeah, Double Dash have really
And
great track
finally, we're
sounds.
going into the Special Cup. I
All
was
right.
really hoping for things to start ramping up a bit, and Wario Stadium did not disappoint.
Yeah, Motion Bridge from Double Dash. Yeah, Mario Kart DS featured a lot of fast tracks.
There's a lot to talk about here. The first few turns are no biggie, but very quickly we
Uh-oh.
come up to a ramp that raises some questions. While we can teeter over the edge of it, I'm a bit skeptical of how we could get the Civic to handle coming over that triangle. The best alternative is probably just going about 30 miles an hour, taking the small hit, slamming the brakes, then easing down the second slope at an angle,
Yeah.
and from there, we run into the second largest obstacle, mud.
Oh.
While we
Oh,
traditionally use
no.
boost pads to fly through here, I'd like to avoid them if possible, and I don't know how my car would do here. Again, a lot of this depends how thick the mud truly is, because that would massively change my odds of getting stuck. Assuming we can get through it though,
Oh,
we have
no.
2 separate sections of large jumps, which can
Oof.
be gently driven up and down, again making sure to diagonally approach the slopes. Given how steep they are though, I don't know if we can make all of those angles.
Oh, yeah.
If the mud is an option, we can do the longer segment here and drive around it, but
Oh,
again,
that'd be really rough to clean, though. Ugh. Yeah, Wario time. I think I have a Wario emote here I can use. Yeah. Wario time. Haha. Waluigi time. Driving through all that mud would be rough though. Not to mention having to clean all that after. Ugh.
that's solely reliant on if the mud is drivable. All in all, I could explain my way through most of this, but there are so many potential problems, I'd feel most comfortable putting it in iffy. Up next is Peach Gardens, which may
Peach
actually be my
Gardens.
favorite course from the game. This game just has so many bangers. Also, this track is super simple for me. It is literally a walk in the park. The only true obstacles we faced were the chain chomps, but they're easy enough to avoid, as are the moles that come up in the following area. Really not too much to say.
Yeah, and
That's an
Peach
easy
Gardens is
win.
a really great one.
What's not an easy win is Bowser Castle. For the entrance in, we can just patiently wait to make sure these thwomps get out of our way, then continue on upwards through the castle. Up these ramps and down the hall, we enter this spinning room with 2 alternate paths.
Oof.
The harder one is a bit quicker, but ultimately both routes are absolutely doable.
Okay.
Going up the spiraling ramp though, we see the log, which I assumed would probably be the run killer. Even trying to time it so that it stayed still as long as possible, I
Oof.
don't think I could do this. And even if I could, there's a huge drop on the other end.
Oh, ouch.
If you're starting to write a comment disagreeing with me though, you can go ahead and stop, since either way, this segment was the actual run killer for sure.
Oh.
There's absolutely
Oof.
nothing we could do here to make this happen for me.
Oh man, that maybe went to real life. That'd be really rough to drive through. Goodbye, car.
That's not possible. Last up here is Rainbow Road, and I'm sure all of you know where this is going.
Oh no.
Now, starting out optimistically, we should be able to make it around this spiraling segment as long as we maintain a decent amount of speed. That way, we don't slide down the slope.
Yeah,
Then
hopefully.
we have the loop.
Oh.
But it's okay, because I don't even need to talk about it, right? This section afterwards is completely impossible. We can't survive that drop, so I'm sure that none of you even care about looking into the possibility of this, right? Right?
Right?
Okay, yeah, no. Of course we're gonna still address it. Going down the map a little further, we can get a pretty good view of the entire loop, determining that the guardrails are roughly 5 feet tall, and using some cutting-edge technology, the loop has a diameter of 25 guardrails or 125 feet.
Oh wow.
Dusting off the old physics books one more time, we find that we need to be going at least 30.5 miles per hour, which is shockingly low.
Oh.
Now, that's assuming best case scenario and not accounting for other forces, so we do still want to go a bit faster, but given that I can get up to 60 and we have boost pads at the start, this is amazingly
Oh.
doable for us. Either way, it's sad.
Well, never mind the dizziness, right? Yeah, he seems like he'd be a really cool teacher. If he teaches math in a fun way like this, that's pretty good.
That we're still stopped immediately after, but it's cool to find this out.
Nice.
And right back with the whiplash, the Lightning Cup starts us out with a nice drive around Choco Island too. Our only obstacle here is avoiding the speed bumps and making our way through the mud, or
Oh,
chocolate, or
mud.
whatever it is. However, we really don't even need to question it, since there's a path around the edge of the roadway
Oh,
that
well,
we
there you
could
go then.
narrowly
There you
manage
go.
to take. That's it. We're all good.
Lovely.
Entering into Banshee Boardwalk, I was
Ooh,
pretty
Banshee Boardwalk.
optimistic since I didn't remember anything aside from flat roads the entire time.
Oh,
Well,
but you're
except
first
for this
off.
guy, of course. But I was horrifically shocked to see that this beautifully
Oof.
built dock led to this.
Yeah.
Horrible architecture, if I do say so myself. Given how high this looks, I severely doubt the car would be drivable afterward, which is a shame given that the rest of this course is completely normal. Sad.
That's too bad. And Banshee Boardwalk was one of my favorites too. You hate it. Why, Pikachu? It's not scary. It's not scary. Boos aren't gonna hurt you. You poor thing.
But oh well.
I
Going
don't
into
like the
Sky Garden,
eel.
we've got yet another
No.
course with no
No
walls
eels,
and an
Pikachu, as I
infinitely far
promised.
drop. Horrifying, to say the least. Starting out though,
Oh my.
I was unfortunately immediately met with an unskippable boost jump, which I'm sure we could make, but it wouldn't feel good.
PTSD.
I started to resign myself to failing this course, given that I was sure there'd be more of these, only to realize there aren't. This is the only required jump in the entire level, and I'm pretty sure we could keep going on just fine, or close to fine. Obviously, some really bad luck could stop us, but I'm comfortable putting this in probably
With only
possible.
one jump, yeah, it's
And
fine.
ending us off very fittingly, we have Yoshi Circuit. For a challenge all about driving my car, what better way to end than on an actual road? I really don't have much to mention, it's just nice that we were able to wrap things up with a nice bow. No jumps, no issues, just a smooth,
Oh.
perfectly possible course.
The S had the great music. Not the S.
All in all,
Double
these
dash.
courses went way better than I'd originally anticipated.
Oh, not
In
bad.
retrospect, yeah, I probably should have expected this, since so many of them are just flat retro courses, but the distributions are still pretty interesting. 50% fell in fully doable, 25% in impossible, and 25% were somewhere in the middle.
Overall, not a bad ratio. Yeah. Some of these were just impossible, whether through mud or through physics. These are iffy. Possible. Chocolate Mountain, I would avoid because I don't want to guess around the giant boulders. But overall, yeah, your car could do it. Not bad.
I really enjoyed this one. Honestly, it was the most fun I've had making a video in quite a while. So if you enjoy these more obscure topics, let me know and I'll keep them rolling out. No pun intended. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hype. If you want to see
Brilliant.
more content like this, check out my other videos to see similar topics covered in the Mario 3D games and Zelda.
Yeah. That was a really great video, wasn't it? You should do Fortnite race courses. Oh, nice. Here, let me link y'all the video so y'all can watch it, give it a like yourself. Because it was a lot of fun. Take a look at what other people are saying. I love the not sponsored disclaimer, as if Honda is going to start marketing campaign for the 28 Civic by sponsoring a Nintendo YouTuber. And the PNG of the Civic makes the video 10 times better. And dude, your mechanic must hate you after this. Oh, and a mechanic is saying, your Civic Honda will be fine after those drops in Luigi Circuit. Huh. You whacked the subframe, but your engine will be safe. Okay, that's good to know. Oh yeah. Overall, great. That was a great video. That was a lot of fun.